Hey guys, welcome to our review of Kamen Rider Saber, episode 22. I'm your host, the Cinder Blaze. With me today we have.
The Frozen Stratos?
I'm Aresol.
Sorry, I almost forgot what we were doing. Anyways, this, in my opinion, was a much better episode that we've been getting. I think the show's going on like a slow upward trend,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really weird because this is where 01 was kind of choking real hard.
The funny thing is too, because I totally agree. I do think this was a stronger episode. Um, but the funny thing is, we kind of saw the writing on the wall of like, oh well, it's Buster's turn to be swayed. Like they're just going one by one by one.
Yeah, but I guess like the order is what really counts because I feel like Slash is probably one of like the easiest ones to persuade because he's always kind of like not like super attached with the group and like the sort of logos. He's just like always kind of like hovering. So he was an easy little dude to kind of like pull off from the group. And then we have like Buster's kind of like grounded there with his kid.
Yeah.
So we gotta like pick him up.
But I also
Um,
like that part of what has swayed Buster, like begun to sway Buster already, is the fact that Slash
Mm-hmm.
uh was swayed because they're so closely um
yeah,
bonded, I
Yeah,
guess. I
yeah. I
don't know.
mean, like
Like they're friends,
they're
so
still part of that original generation. So
yeah,
yeah. Um,
yeah.
it, it, this order though, like it's interesting because I thought, okay, maybe they'll go in order of like importance. Like so far, I feel like the tiers of importance are, whoever this dude is, the green one, and then
Kenta.
Kenzan.
Kenzan,
Yeah. Oh yeah, his name is right here. Kenzan slash Buster and Rintaro.
Retro.
But we started with Slash, then Buster, then maybe Ren. I'm wondering if Ren is just gonna end up becoming a villain.
I mean,
He seems like he might be the hardest to sway
Yeah.
as of right now.
yeah. Like, there's no way he's gonna be going on the side of what was it Espada's killer? Because like technically
Mm-hmm.
Toma's on the side of Espada's
Right.
killer right
Right.
now, so he's just kind of like pretty angry from that. You'd think that like after a month after his passing, you'd kind of like lighten up a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, but it affected him pretty hard.
Right.
So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt for now, and
I I can see him becoming like a really bad version of Michi.
I mean, Michi was already bad, but he was so bad it was adorable. So if if Kenzan kind of goes in that route, like I wouldn't mind, especially because some of the villains are approaching that. Dude with the very tight leather is kind of an adorable villain. You can summarize his character as like nobody at all,
Mm-hmm.
and then out of nowhere he just overacts like something really cringe, and then they cut the scene, and then
Right.
we're left with the rest of the plot. Anyways, speaking of the plot, it's basically a continuation of last week's episode, which I didn't actually expect, even though I should have, because there's twins and they never not use twins. so, um, so like the villains kind of like use that as some sort of like way to, or at least that one villain uses it as some way to bolster the strength of his Megid.
Oh, in the oh
Still,
my god.
it doesn't make baby noises anymore, so like that's great. I'm glad
Oh
someone
yeah.
took some criticism on
Yeah.
that because people are just like, no, that was just weird. But it didn't really like help too much. At least like they gave him like a cool looking weapon, so we weren't really distracted by him just like crying all the time. We just got to see some really nice action through him and like just like the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
I thought like
Yeah.
the action in this episode was just freaking stellar. That
The
Buster
the
fight though,
Buster fight was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. The like
yeah,
the shot coverage they got with that, like the various reaction shots for that big slash, the big one, like they gave it just enough space in that wide one, and then this really tight reactionary shot where like the dust flared up in like such a natural looking way. It really helped I don't know, ground that scene. I loved it so much. Just the practical nature of those explosions. I don't know. It was so good.
Yeah.
That was my favorite shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. If we can still remember exactly how that shot went, then it's got to be really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Um, yeah, like it looked like super realistic, and like I think recently Buster's sword, or at least the prop of the sword, has been a little shaky, a little wiggly, a little flimsy, and then all of a sudden there's like, you know what, we got to make sure the audience knows that Buster is really strong. So I think this is one of the few times we actually like felt the weight of his
Mhm.
sword and just
Yeah.
crushed Toma basically.
That's
Then he just
That
like crab walks up.
that's one of the cool things about having Toma fight one-on-one with the other swordsmen.
Mhm.
You get to see their different styles and um a lot clearer
Yeah.
than when they're fighting monsters.
Yeah.
I also
Um,
um just to go back to like the I guess mechanics of the fight. I really appreciate how um because we've seen the wobbly version of his sword a lot before, but like they were able to balance the use of the hero prop, like the actual good looking one, and then the stunt version, the wobblier one. And there were only a few instances where like my eye caught it. So like I don't know, the way that it was all cut together, like you had a really quick reaction shot to make it look like okay, he's in battle with this huge weapon, and then from far away, wham, and then immediately cutting back to a reaction shot with the actual one. So like the scenes made it flow well together and made it look like oh, he's using that one the whole time. I just thought,
yeah.
structurally it was really well done. Like how they put the visuals
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, like that fight didn't require like an extended sword fight. It was basically going to be like, like can you take this shot or not? I think like towards like the end of
Mm-hmm.
that fight, because it was basically Tomer like kind of running into
Right.
Buster,
Yeah.
and they can easily block like the actual like prop sword,
Mm-hmm.
even if they had to use it at all. Like honestly,
Yeah.
so that was really nice. What else happened at the end of the episode? A bunch of like, not a bunch of Yuri stuff, but like a little bit. Turns out he can't yoink out two humans at the same time.
Oh. Wrong.
That was
Wrong
at the
Yuri stuff.
very beginning. Yeah, pretty sure that's the wrong terminology for whatever was going on there, but that actually just like visit that like real quick. I did not expect that to come out of Slash of all people.
Like, imagine a guy who like you think maybe can communicate with swords, or at least that's how he says he does it with like talking to actual physical things. But when he's talking to a man who is sword, like he flips the fuck out, and like it was a surprise initially, but like, oh, hold on, this makes complete sense.
No, but like I did not expect his voice to go that high. That scared the
Yeah.
shit out of me. I
I
was
mean,
like, what is that
we saw
screeching
it with
banshee?
the Bremen no Rock Band stuff when he first used it.
Yeah, but that's a book.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
But we
whoa!
actually,
That's a book.
but when you actually like see it like that, it's
Mhm.
like ah.
That's
Anyways,
it. That's a strange thing to like discuss though, because like we've seen that sometimes whatever book can affect Slash's demeanor, and to an extent, Yuri using the ex swordsman, either it has affected him in that he says a bunch of stuff from the comic, or he just makes references to it because he really likes it and that's all he knows now. I don't know what, like, I don't know if it is what the distinction is, if he's just really big on the comic, or if it is now a part of him because he's using the book, because we've seen that a book can affect someone's demeanor.
Yeah. I mean, that's all he's reading too. So like, that's all in its
Sure.
brain.
But
That's
like
all I can really talk
he
about.
turned his book, his actual identity, into ex swordsman. Like,
Yeah.
is there like a mechanical aspect to it? Like it is part of him now?
If there is a mechanical aspect to it, then Tassel's the engineer, and do you really want to know how this stuff is going on? I mean, there could be, but I'm not sure if I can give you an explanation based off of what we
Probably
have.
not. Probably not.
Yeah. Rintaro was also very frustrated this episode. He looked like he really wanted a henshin, but then they just were telling him that he couldn't
Mhm.
because they just like making him suffer this entire arc.
it
Ah,
it
man.
does suck.
Is he gonna be the next Yaiba? Sorry.
I hope not.
I don't.
But um it was great to see, like, we've gone so long, so many episodes of him and Toma just having the same conversation and never being on the same page, like the complete opposite direction. And this episode, we're finally taking those steps for him to actually repair his relationship with Toma. Because he has to grapple with the idea of, like, okay, I guess, what the Southern Base lady is telling me, and what the villains are telling me right now is that the only way to defeat this monster is to kill this person, and killing people is sometimes gonna just have to happen, and that's part of this job. And it was his resolve. He was about to do it. He was about to try and strike that down. He had made the conscious decision to not save those people. And then when Toma came in to like actually do it, you saw those walls breaking down and like the light go off in his head, like, okay, hold on, maybe this isn't right. And it's so nice to finally have a breakthrough there. I'm just really
Yeah.
happy that we're finally moving him out of this really mopey phase.
Yeah. And like having Saber look so fucking tired of this shit while doing it, drags himself out of bed because he knew that there was something, that someone was gonna fuck something up if he wasn't there. So, so I'm kind of like glad that he's kind of like taking control of the show as the main character. If
Yeah,
I ain't doing it, then nothing's gonna be done.
like
As opposed to like early on in the series, where just like, oh, you don't have to be here, Saber. You can just go home and start writing shit.
as much as it is like a contrived plot point to be like, okay, yeah, this attack, it should knock him out for however long. He's still up, and it is because of his convictions. Like that. I mean, I get it. That's like typical. I want to say like shonen stuff. But I don't know. We haven't had too much with him, and that was just a little bit that we got, and I guess I appreciated it. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Um, they still haven't controlled Kenzan though. He was waiting to kill that person. I was kind of hoping that he would,
That's fine.
just
He
so
can die mad.
it would kind of like accelerate Rentro's character development. Because if he sees Kenzan kill someone, he might be just like, okay, we're done here.
I don't know if it's because I don't like the character, but like I genuinely want to see him fall so far.
Yeah, like I kind of want to see him like fall to like Thouser depths, where like he loses to a Yaiba. Like, you know how demoralizing that is? Lose the person with like a 0% win record. Like, god dang.
um
Ugh. Anyways, did you guys have anything else for this episode before we dive into the comments?
no.
No.
All right. Well, we did get one from Andy L. You were late. Next time we won't be so lenient. But he said, I can't tell. Is the script being stupid or the pandemic? Rentro and Buster did nothing, not even try fight off the edgy boy. Especially Rentro, supposed to be the second writer. I almost forgot he has an upgrade for him. Toei just issued a new patch, removed Yuri's healing, resized his hitbox, and nerfed his overall state and power. Also removed Dragonite and King Lion based on their poor performance, but gonna debut Primitive Dragon next week. Another uncontrollable form. Aren't you excited for more misunderstanding drama? Hell yeah, I don't. I don't know. I mean, if they execute it well, then I'm kind of looking forward to the new form. But
I wonder if it's going to be a situation where, oh no, these guys are starting to fall for his shit. I guess we gotta make him evil, and then the Southern Base just, makes that happen, like turns him evil.
yeah,
So
I have no idea how that's gonna like go about. Like, will Reika just come by and it's like, you know what? I'm sorry for being such a dick. Here's a book. Have fun using it. It's really nice. And if he falls for that shit, then like I don't know, man. um,
I
I mean, there's no stopping Kenzan either. Like once he's like set to do something, he's kind of faster than both of them. So like, what are they gonna do?
I I am kind of tired of the run wild forms, but this one's like ice themed, and I can't say no to that. So I'm just gonna enjoy the debut and leave it at that. Uh,
Yeah, like I kind of don't have like too much faith in it, so I'm like expecting something a little lackluster considering his Dragon Knight form, which in most cases would have been like a really easy debut to nail. Didn't really hit the mark for me at least. So,
I still could. I like if you turn the subtitles off and just watch it without understanding, it's a really good debut episode. It has some really good emotion packed in there until you get the context of why Gold is dying or whatever.
yeah, I guess it just debuted at a very poor time.
Yeah, it looked
All right, I'll trust you for that one.
good.
Anyways, that is it for our review. Make sure to like, comment again if you want to, subscribe, all that other jazz. Check our description down below. There's a little link there. You can watch it, and the revenue for the ad revenue goes to support the BLM movement. You can also do other things like science fictions and whatnot. It's fun. You should try it out. Anyways, keep it juicy.
Oh.
Bye.
Sorry, like I just had some momentum going into that sentence.
Fair.
I know I usually leave it off for you.
Sometimes
But then
you
it's
do,
kinda, like, kept
sometimes
on
you
going.
don't. So like, I gotta gauge if that's happening, and this was just one of those times where I didn't do that.
Yeah,
right.
but then like I looked you like straight in the eye and I knew you already had it in your hand. I just said it anyway.